Hi everyone! Today we're going to create a St. Patrick's Day themed tutu skirt. And this one in particular is for about ages 6 months to 2 to 3 years of age. And it's made on an elastic base. And we're going to use some specialty tulle. This is the green glitter dot tulle. And we're going to use it as an accent so it's cost effective. And it adds just a little bit of extra to your creation. We're doing the pixie cut, and I had a really hard time finding a satin colored ribbon that would match, so we're going to make sure that we make our knots really nice so that we don't need that satin covering. And then if we have time, we'll make a cute little hair accessory with a leftover premium tulle and a few other embellishments. The one that we're going to create in tutorial together is going to be for a 5 to 6 year old, and it's going to be worn over top of some leggings or shorts. Depending on where you are in the world, it might be a little too cool to wear a tutu skirt. So it's going to also be cost effective in the fact that we're only going to use 2 layers. It's going to be really cute and full, but we don't have to worry about it being too see-through for who's wearing it because they're going to wear something underneath it. We are ready to cut the tulle for our St. Patrick's Day themed tutu, or any of you who like green. This is really lovely. Alright, so I'm cutting mine from the bolt. And I need 12 inches, so in essence I need about 25, because remember we're going to fold it in half. Okay, so I've got my tool. I'm going to cut. One of these days I will have a cutting board that is the size that I need, and I'll be able to use my rotary cutter, but not today. Alright, so we're just going to cut our strips. I need about 25 inches, and we're going to do the diamond cut. We're going to fold it in half, and I'm going to fold it again. I'm going to make sure that the area that's folded is as close together as possible. Okay, this area right here, because if it's not, you're going to have wide in one area and then skinny in another, and it's just a big mess. Now you can do this a couple of ways. You can either cut half of the width, see if you can see this better, cut half of the width than your other strips because it's folded, and then it'll, when you unfold it, it'll be the same width as your other strips. Or you can just cut the folded area, you don't waste too much, and then just work with it that way. And that's normally what I do now just because it's easier for me. Alright, so I'm going to take my area here that's folded, and I'm going to just get that out of the way. Now pick how wide I want this. Now this one is just going to be a thin, a 2-layer tutu. So you just go across. You can also use your scissors. Alright, and that's all there is to that. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to do the diamond cut. So I'm going to take my tool, I'm going to bring it together, put a couple strips together, okay? And now I'm going to fold it long ways, making sure that they're lined up as close together as possible, right here and right here. Now, you can use your rotary cutter or you can use your scissors, and I'll show you both ways. But what we're going to do is we're going to cut at an angle. Alright? Just like if you're doing ribbon. And now we have a really pretty design for the ends of the tool. And it looks really cute when you make the skirt. Bring the pieces together. Now fold it long ways. Take your rotary cutter. And then cut at an angle going down. And what you'll have is basically a triangle taken off. Okay? And there you go. It's nice and clean. I've had a couple ask me about the angled cut again, or the quote-unquote pixie cut. And what we're going to do is I'll show you real quick. Now, I'm not going to actually cut, but I will show you. You'll bring your tails together. Okay? You'll fold it in half. Bring it together. So that way you're cutting one step out. You don't have to do the top and the bottom because you fold it in half. You're going to do it all at once. Then you'll take your tool, place it on your cutting board, use your rotary cutter, and you'll cut at an angle, just like you do for the diamond cut, except you're not folding it long ways. Or you can use your scissors as well and just cut at an angle. And again, you know you're doing it right because you'll have a pointed edge and you'll have a triangle left over. And this is how it'll look. Okay? And it'll of course be more clean cut. But if you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comment section and I'll be sure to answer you as soon as I possibly can. Alright, again we're going to fold it long ways. And I'm going to cut at an angle. And it's just lovely. When we put this all together, guys, you're going to really like the effect, I think. Now, we're using the specialty tool, and it's on rolls. I haven't been able to find it at a good price in the bolt form yet, but these aren't too expensive. And you're not going to need too much of this specialty tool, but it's really gorgeous. What you're going to do here is you're going to measure. I'm going to bring it down just so you can see where I cut it at. And I'm going to make it about 25 inches. Okay? Now I'm just going to cut it. Now you have an option here. You can either fold it in half and make it 2 3-inch strips. And what I do to do that is I fold it a couple of times and then I just cut it. Either with my rotary scissors, with my rotary cutter or with my scissors. And the cool thing is if you bring it together pretty good, then you can cut pretty easily. Or you can leave it 6 inches wide. Totally up to you. And your slip knots. Okay? When you're making your slip knots, these are a little tougher to work with to make a nice clean slip knot, but it's not too bad. And since we're only doing 2 layers, it shouldn't be that bulky for you. But either way, you can either turn this into 2 3-inch pieces, or you can leave it as a 6-inch piece. I will say this, if you are cutting it into 2 3-inch pieces, your specialty tool is going to go even further. Alright, so I'll finish cutting this up. It's time for placement now, folks. We are using, again, green, shiny, shimmering, glimmer, named after all those different things, just to say it's got a shiny coating on it. And then we have our specialty sparkle dot tool in green that we're using to create this St. Patrick's Day themed tutu, or anybody who loves green, tutu. Alright, so one thing I wanted to mention to you, green has a huge amount of color variation. I mean huge. So if you're shopping locally, take your accent tool with you and you will eliminate so much stress. If you're shopping online, and that's what I did, I just lucked out really, really well. I found this green at expo.com. I'm not affiliated with them, but they have really good quality tool and a huge supply of various other things, especially if you are a crafter or designer. I love them, and they have excellent customer service, and I cannot stress enough how valuable that is to me. It's better than it being a little bit more expensive or a little bit less competitive, more competitive. Doesn't matter. Their customer service is outstanding. So again, not affiliated with them, but this is where I found it. Also, if you are making a whole bunch of the same type of item and you need the colors to match, ask to have them send you a picture or request that it's from the same dye lot, because folks, you may go to the same manufacturer, the same retailer, all of that, you know, distributor, all of these things, you may be doing the same exact thing and end up with a shade difference depending on the dye lot. So if it's very important to you, make sure that you ask them about that. Or you would like to buy this color from the same dye lot. Okay, sometimes that matters, sometimes it doesn't. But, you know, if you're doing a wedding, you want to make sure that it all matches the way that you envision it. All right, so let's get to placement. I'm using an elastic base. I think she's got a 23-inch waist, and this will stretch up to 28. And I've got it on a little bit larger mannequin, so that way I can add more tulle, so there's no gaps. This is 3/4 inch in width. It's a great durable elastic base. It doesn't fold over, and it holds well. I got this on Amazon, but you can do your own research on that. All right, so we're just doing 2 pieces of tulle, okay, 2 layers. And the reason is the kiddos wearing this are going to have leggings underneath or shorts underneath, depending on the weather conditions. So this doesn't have to be real thick. So that's also cost effective as well. All right, so we're going to take 2 pieces, and we're doing the staggered effect, and all that means is that one tail is going to be a little longer than the other. See, it's not that big of a difference, but it's a little bit, and I just love the way when it's poofed out how it looks. So take your 2 pieces, fold it in half. If you are not doing the staggered effect, then bring the tails as closely together as possible. If you are staggering it, just make sure that you have one set of tails a little bit longer than the other. We're going to squish this folded area as much as we can, and it just makes it easier to work with, and it also helps with doing the slip knot. Alright, so let me widen this a bit so you can see better. Take your folded over tulle, bring it under your elastic base, bring some of it up. Now take your finger and widen it so that the tails can go through easily. Bring them through. Use your fingers as a guide and gently tug. Okay. Now we're going to use a dowel at the end of my placement of the primary tool to tighten. Now I recommend a stick-like implement. You know, these all together I got it in a pack of 12, so it probably cost me 28 cents including the ribbon, and I've had them for almost 2 years now. But the dowels work really great because when you are tightening it, you're not messing with the integrity of your elastic base, and you're not ending up with a size you did not want. Been there, done that. Alright, again, fold it in half. If you're staggering it, have one tail a little higher than the other. Squish that top part. Put it underneath your elastic base. Okay, there it is. Make sure that you've got enough room. Use your fingers. Widen that folded area. Bring the tails through. Use your finger as a guide and gently tug. If you have static cling, anything like that, you see some wrinkles, get you some fabric softener of your choice and some drinking water, distilled water, good water basically, and put 3 parts water and 1 part fabric softener into a spray bottle, and that will help. You'll gently mist the areas that you want of your tutu. Use your fingers and comb, and it will help with the wrinkles and the static cling. Now you can also put it in the shower when you, not in the shower, but in the bathroom while you're showering, and that steam will also take out wrinkles for you. Or you can use a handheld steam cleaner as well, or steamer as well. All right, there we go. Got that top part squished. Underneath the elastic, bring it through, using your fingers to widen it for you. Got the tails through. Now I'm going to use my finger as a guide, and you won't be as clumsy as I am trying to show you the best way possible and doing it sideways. I would usually put my accent pieces on after I've placed my primary color, but I'm going to go ahead and show you that now. Alright, so we're going to fold it in half. This sparkle dot tool is going to shed some, but it's not too bad. Squish that top area where it's folded, put it underneath the elastic, bring the tails through, use your finger as a guide, and gently tug. Okay. So this is going to look really pretty, and I'm so sorry about the lighting, folks. My light bulbs are messing up, and I'm just having a time of it today. So I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of this pretty much placed, and then we'll do the dowel to make the slip knots nice and clean and not mess with the integrity, and go from there. What you can do too, this is something I don't mention very often, and I don't know why. The more layers that you add, the more you're going to want to do this. For example, all of these are pretty much together. They're stuck together. Okay? See if you can see this better. I apologize. And you're going to simply pull them apart or away from each other. And when you do that all the way through, you'll have a really full tutu. If you don't want it real full, then skip this step. I will say this, if you are mailing this to someone, don't do this step. Go ahead and let them do it. Just, include little instructions saying, to really make this full, pull apart each layer from each other, and then do the aerosol hairspray if you want. Okay? Or some type of stiffener. Okay, but the hairspray is a lot less expensive than buying like fabric stiffener. But you'll just do that all the way around, and it is easier to ship when it's not as full. Well, we hope you enjoyed our tutu tutorial for St. Patty's Day, and if you love the color green, these are going to be fantastic. If you are doing a sporting event, especially those walks for special causes, these are lightweight enough to wear and not mess up your walk or your jog or your 5K. And we enjoyed doing the tutorial with you, and the girls had fun helping me. So we totally appreciate everything that y'all have done by liking, sharing, and subscribing.
Remember, anything you create
is going to be fantastic.
Why?
Because you took the time to create it. From our families to yours, have a blessed day.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. The button's right there. You can do it. Bye.
Bye.
This is for my babies. My beautiful baby. Today I saw you all stressed out. You couldn't even leave the house. All of this pressure you put on yourself. I think you're beautiful. I don't want nobody else. And even if you let your hair go wild and your feet take a break from your favorite stilettos, you're naturally my favorite girl, hands down. And that's how it's gonna be, you and me. So no, now you don't have to put on makeup every day. And I love your natural natural. You don't have to put on red high heels. You look good when you don't even try for real. Perfect as you are, you don't have to change. 'Cause baby, our love is natural. Today I saw you, almost want to cry. You couldn't see the natural things that I love about you, like your pretty smile. Our love is natural. And even if you let your hair go wild, take a break from your favorite stilettos. You're naturally my favorite girl, hands down. And that's how it's gonna be, you and me. So